Good day all. On what we're told is the 15th of June in the year 2024. It's 8 minutes past 5 in the afternoon of that said day as I sit to record this. I'm Basil, Broadcasting Truth and Therapy, BBTT. This is my channel, the Self-Preservation Society, and here I am using the talking stick. And if you're listening anywhere other than my BitChute channel, my main BitChute channel, link to it, along with plenty of other information, is in the description box. Bear that in mind. And if what you're about to hear here resonates with you, then please share it and look at my other work with a view to sharing that, because I am so limited in my ability to share it. I don't want to be famous. I want the message that you hear, if it's credible, to be famous, not me. It's not about me, the person, the personality. It's about the message that I share. Please bear that in mind. And that separates me, I think, from a lot of other people that you may or may not listen to, especially those with hundreds of thousands, thousands and hundreds of thousands of followers. This, I say with all humility, the object of my channel is to empower, enlighten and enable you to free yourself from a prison that you don't know that you don't know you're in. And look at those first two memes there. The limits we set ourselves become the prison we live in. Be prepared to die, be willing to die, want to die, in order that you may live. And that's going to be the theme of this oration as I go on. And the title of this upload will be The Ultimate Sacrifice. I have often spoke about what sacrifice means. And to sacrifice means to give something away in order that something else would replace it, or to do something in order that one would profit. So today I'm going to be talking about the ultimate sacrifice as I see it, which is you, the human being. You, the spiritual persona, both of which have to be sacrificed in order that you may truly live. To sacrifice that which you are comfortable with as a human being. If you truly sacrifice it, then you will know what it is to be man and woman, because that in the physical is what you truly are. You're not a human being. It's a corruption of mankind, a bastardization, a genetic manipulation of what you truly are here in the physical. In the same way, your spiritual self is a corruption, bastardization, manipulation of your true self, which is the I am, the soul, the source consciousness, which you are, the Lucifer within. I know I go on about this a lot, people, but I see a post the other day talking about the Luciferian Freemasons. They're not fucking Luciferian, people, they're satanic. And when you can break down all the programming and the arrogance and the ego that tells you, programmed you to believe Lucifer and Satan are the same, when you can break that down, you might then truly know yourself, your own light, Lucifer, L-U-C-I, and your own way, your own codes, your own knowledge, F-E-R. I cannot express that deeply enough. The greatest lesson, or one of the greatest lessons I've learnt in my life, and it's took me the best part of these 63 odd years that I've been here, is to know that I am the light, I am the way, I am Lucifer. And anything other than that is a corruption to keep me in darkness and in shadows, following a satanic agenda to enslave me physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and ultimately to enslave the soul, source consciousness that I am. And it's the same for you. And the ultimate sacrifice you must make is to unlearn all that you've ever learned in that matrix programming, challenge it, let it go, and have the guts to go where angels fear to tread, where you've never been before. There's two really important people in my life. Both of them are women. Shelley, I've often spoke to you about. Shelley has sacrificed the last 42 years of her life as a vegetarian to now start eating meat in order that she may live. That's what she's done, because she was experiencing things with her body and whatever. She's realised through research and other means that her lifestyle is causing these problems, her vegetarian lifestyle. And so she's changed. She's willing to change. And I've said to her in person, for that you have my total and utmost respect. When faced with new knowledge, you're prepared to change. And she has sacrificed her old life of 42 years in order that she may live. And I think it's wonderful. You know, I've just been talking to Jackie and we broached this subject, and she was offering, a view about how our ancestors used to live. It's not quite as simple as this, but, they used to eat loads more fruit than we do today, for instance. Vegetables are relatively new, especially in the way that we eat them today. I said to her that potatoes, for instance, are indigenous to one part of the world, originally indigenous to one part of the world. That was a part of Peru. That's where potatoes originally come from, when they were first brought back to Europe. And many of you know that carrots in their original form were purple. And I said to Jackie, there is a philosophy that plants, anything that grows from the earth, is medicine, and meat is food. And, Shelley's adjusted her diet, or starting to adjust her diet to incorporate meat. And funny enough, some of you know that she grows her vegetables in my garden, and she was sitting here a few hours ago today saying, the only thing I can eat in the garden really now is the onions. It's funny, but on the other hand, knowledge is power. And with new knowledge that has come to Shelley, she's become more powerful. These two women are quite important and instrumental in my life. Jackie and I have been talking about some other things that based upon all their experiences through life. And let me tell you something. That lady has had a fucking shit life up until she met her last partner, perhaps, who only passed away earlier this year. The abuse and neglect that she has been subject to would send many a weaker person to the nut house. But not her. She's always had my respect as long as I've known her. And the more we talk, the greater that respect goes, because she has been willing to sacrifice her old life time and time again in order that she may live. And that's what we must do, people. We must sacrifice in order that we may live. You don't know how powerful you are until you're placed in that position. And Jackie is testament to that, as indeed so is Shelley. But, you know, you truthers out there that know something's wrong in the world, this, that and the other, and talk about it, are you the same people that are sitting there watching the football or anything else? You're paying for your own enslavement, paying for the bread and circuses they provide to you. When are you going to wake up? These people that we're taught to idolise, footballers, film stars, pop stars, this, that and the other, they only exist because of the money and the attention and the power that we individually and we collectively give them at the expense of ourselves, because we're always reaching outside of ourselves to be someone else. Not me. Not for many a long year. I go deeper and deeper inside myself to be that which I truly am. And I do not fear how people will react to that. I've sacrificed, looking back, didn't do it consciously, so much in order to be that which I am today. And that's what you must do. That's what you must do. You must let go of everything that you're dependent upon and realise it only leaves you. And when you realise that, realise with real eyes the real lies, then and only then will you ever come close to knowing who and what you truly are. Stop paying for your enslavement. Stop paying. Stop voting. If you want to fight for your country, then stop voting. If you want to fight for the world, then listen to someone like me. Because your country only exists because your masters tell you it does. Flags are the dusters given to us by our masters to polish their mansions. And the red, white and blue of the UK or Britain, we're told, historically is more powerful than any other flag in the world. Well, today it's not. America and Russia and China are vying for that. And that too will pass. They all pass. And if we allow it, it will continue and somebody else will sit at the top of the tree. because we allow it? What about you sitting at the top of the tree, knowing what the tree is, and sitting at it, being it, instead of reaching outside of you? Sacrifice your mindset, the control that you have been under. If you're going to pay for anything, simply pay attention. You don't have to justify it to me, but you have to justify it to yourself ultimately. What you're willing to sacrifice in order that you may live, not as a human being, but as man. And all the while that you are subservient, subordinate to humanity and all that it represents, the voting, the sport, the films, everything that it represents, you are and will remain a slave and the master to your own prison. Ultimately, the master to your own prison. You got to sacrifice. The ultimate sacrifice is you and all that you think you are. You've got to step outside the box that you've built and has been built around you, that tells you how to live in order to know what it is to truly live. And to know what it is to truly live is to live without fear. Ultimately, that's it. To know what it is to truly live is to live without fear. So you've got to sacrifice so much in order to come to that place. My daughter told me yesterday, for the first time in 13 years, she didn't have any fear. I was absolutely bursting with pride. She had to leave her hometown because of a violent ex-partner. She's built a new life for herself, married, got 2 more children. And she sees somebody recently from her hometown who is partly responsible for her leaving, and she walked with her head held high, she said, and with no fear. As a father, fuck me, what that made me feel. Because I know what it's like to live in fear. And ultimately, our greatest fear is not being able to live. That's it. And that's why we're so busy chasing a living. Because our greatest fear is not being able to live. You can't die for the life of you. You really can't. But you must be willing to die in order that you may live. You must be willing to kill the old you. This persona, this physical manifestation of the mind, the ego and the spirit that is not you, in order that you may live. The ultimate sacrifice is you. And are you willing to make it in order that you may live? Or are you simply going to carry on living in the matrix that they have defined for you, that you're subservient to? Stop paying for your television, for your sports subscriptions. Stop paying for your films, your Netflix and all this, that and the other. that they offer you, often first of all for free, to entice you in, and then you end up having to pay for it. Simply pay attention, and you will soon be making the ultimate sacrifice, the old self, in order that you may live. If this message resonates, share the message. Don't share me, share the message. Visit my BitChute channel, link below wherever you're watching. Share wherever you can. Don't share to make me famous. Share to make the message I bring to you famous. Because I'm not fecking important. The truth is important. And if this resonates with you, then it is as much my truth as it is yours. Palamia, thank you. In Lakesh, in you I see another me. Mitakwe Oyasin. We are all related. We are all relatives. But as always, I tell you, we are all connected. Mankind is all connected. Humans are broken.